Welcome to the introduction module of 5S. We are actually going to cover these points. What is 5S and maybe what is not 5S, as well as what are the benefits and general implementation stage and how to implement a total system and get the benefit out of the 5S implementation. What is 5S? 5S is a systematic approach like any other ISO 9000 or other ISO standards. It helps you to create a foundation for implementation of any management system. A good 5S done is actually 50% of the system in place and helps you in putting a further infrastructure in the system in an organization to ultimately get the benefit of implementation of a quality or environment or health and safety management system. What are these 5S's? First S is theory. All these words are the Japanese words which actually means sorting, and second S is Seaton, which is straightening the things in the organization. Third S is CSO, which actually means the sanitization or a cleaning, the basic cleaning housekeeping process which we talk about in every organization. And the fourth S is CXU, which is the maintenance or standardization of the whole activity such that the system runs by itself and it doesn't require overemphasized supervision or following up, etc. And finally, the fulcrum of this 5S is actually the self-discipline, which in Japanese words called shitsuki. Recently, there are also one more S which is added, which is actually shitsukoku, which is to address the suitable working environment like the safety or health or the comfort and convenience levels of the people working in the particular department. What is the meaning of this 5S to the organization? It changes over a dirty factory to a maybe much more systematic and organized factory. The working environment is good and clean, then the product and the service which is provided by the organization also will be having the quality and hygiene. A clutter means put everything together like a garbage bin. It can actually take even a costly materials into the garbage bin, hides the problem, and a 5S will expose this problem and ensure that the problems get resolved during the process of implementation. An orderly environment, a good environment, those who are working into that particular area also start getting a orderly mind. A clean workplace could mean that the problems get exposed and they get resolved. So ultimately, when you are talking about a total quality management system in the organization, 5S will actually give the basic direction in which the organization has to move. And you also know that 5S can actually be implemented in anywhere in your workplace, maybe at home, maybe in your office, maybe in the conference room, meeting room, maybe in the reception, maybe in the security, maybe in the campus. So any place in an organization or in your living areas, it can be a very good opportunity and candidate for implementation of 5S. Look at some of the areas where these type of problems maybe stop working or create problems: disorder arrangement of the fan, inefficient working, unhygienic workplace, the lighting problems, less lights or dark, leaky areas, noisy surroundings, polluting environments, or the smell, pungent smells, or rusting of the parts, which can actually create quite a lot of issues and problems in the organization's workplace or in the living space where you are at home. A leaking pipe can always be a reason for a rusty pump. Implementation at a first step of implementation, sometimes called a low-lying fruit. If you really wanted to get the image of 5S or the impact of 5S understood and implemented by the organization, a quick inspection across the organization to identify what are the problems in the area and maybe immediately getting into a corrective mode or a resolving mode and ensuring that this problem is taken care of, and verify how this new work environment, a clean and neat work environment, a good housekeeping, can impact upon the organization through maybe the wastage reduction and lesser searching time and new productivity, and all those pain in the neck can also be avoided by using a quick implementation of 5S. Sample basis on your table, on a small work areas or any of the organization's What are the benefits of this 5S implementation? Direct effect is quality improvement, accidents, pollution prevention, productivity improvement, cost reduction, energy conservation, downtime prevention, working environment, preservation of the environment, and morale boosting, encouraging the creativity, employee participation. There could be quite a lot of words and meanings which can be derived from the 5S. On implementation, you will see many of the things happening, and if you start measuring this, maybe if you can find some metrics for each one of them, that will ultimately tell you in a year's time from where you can reach great heights in your performance. In short, the benefits of 5S is the clean and better work environment, maybe an easier and safer shop floor or office, or a visible image an insider or an outsider who is walking around your organization can get. The visible effect encourages more and more new ideas, more and more staying, more and more working hours, more and more efforts by the people. People automatically get disciplined when other tables and other cupboards are arranged. People become more proud of the area. They can bring their friends, relatives, or even family members and show them this is how 5 is working. And finally, maybe a resultant good company image gives more business from the customer or more salary and wages to the employees. Wastages gets reduced and the profitability goes up ultimately for the organization. The 5S steps which we were talking about could actually summarized as sort, straighten, sanitize, standardize, and self-discipline. So this is what we were talking about in the first introduction part. You may look at a quiz next to this and see whether to what extent you are comfortable with all these input informations before we actually go to start discussing on each of the steps in more detail.